I made my first $15,000 in 1 month at 19 years old, and it was all with remote sales. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I did that, but more importantly, how I landed a super solid role to where making at least 10K a month was actually very, very easy. And it's a lot easier than you guys think. So if you're new to remote sales, this video is for you, or if you've been in remote sales and you're struggling to make a lot of money. So let's jump right into it here. I have my Lucid chart up. I love this thing. It really allows me to convey my brain in not only word form but also like picture form. So if you're not familiar with remote sales, obviously it's just kind of like getting rich with online gurus. Massive market. It's like a $200 billion market at this point. So there's a ton of money flowing in consistently, and you're kind of just the middleman between these two. If you're new to remote sales, you're kind of just the middleman between the influencer. You can think of these guys are just a few, and they're warm leads. Obviously they don't have time to talk to all of their leads, the people that want to buy. So that's where they basically hire you as a closer to take 10 to 15% and come in and talk to their leads that already want to buy and get them signed up, right? And so to get to bare minimum $11,000 in commission, if you position yourself properly, it's actually not hard, and there's actually not that much work that goes into it. So basically, all you have to do, and what I did, was I took 4 calls per day and 22 days out of the month. So most of the time I would still take weekends off. I still enjoyed my life because I wanted to actually travel and experience the good life and not just work, not just sit in front of the computer and do sales calls, right? That's why I got into sales in the first place, is to have freedom to still enjoy my life. I'm still in Thailand right now, in the penthouse as we speak. So I still don't work that much. I still enjoy my life. But if you take 4 calls per day at a 25% close rate, which if you're not familiar with like sales or any of that, closing basically just means that you got one person enrolled and like signed up and you collected the money. So 25% with warm leads is honestly not very impressive. Like most people, as long as you're actually like good at learning, like you're kind of coachable, like you can easily get to 25% close rate, especially if you're closing for a good company that people already want to buy, right? Because all the people want to buy, they're just, maybe they have questions or they don't have the amount of money for it. So all the people are interested, they want to buy that you're talking to if you position yourself properly. And if you're selling a $5,000 product at 10% commission, then that's $500 commission per day. And then if you multiply that by the 22 days out of the month, that's $11,000 per month in commission, right? And that's just math. But then the next question you start to ask yourself, and for me, when it was like $15,000 per month, is, how do you actually position yourself properly as a closer to where making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month is very, very doable? And that's super, super important, because you need to actually get in with an influencer company that has each one of the following things that I listed off here to ensure that it's actually a good opportunity. All right. So you need to make sure that the companies you're working for are very established. I've tried the whole thing where you start doing appointment setting or you start doing closing for a new company. They promise you all this stuff. They promise you they're the next best thing. And it's really a lot of times not the case. Usually these companies end up shitting the bed, and they're not actually all that great. And they don't really have their marketing system dialed in. And that is like the most important part of these businesses, because the marketing system is really what dictates not only how fun your job is as the closer, but also how much money you're going to make. Because if you're talking to people that already want to buy and have money, and you're selling a product that they want and that actually helps people, then your job as a salesman is going to be amazing. Like that is how you make 6 figures per year. That's how you travel. You don't have to stress. You're not sitting in front of the computer all day long stressing about, making sales, because you're just positioning yourself properly and you're selling something that people already want, and you're not even worrying about the marketing because the company you're selling for and closing for is doing all that marketing for you, right? And you want to make sure, obviously, you're selling something that actually helps people, which is why I say great product that people actually want. You don't want to get caught up in like companies that have bad reputations, or like a company that doesn't actually care about its clients. So there's a ton of companies that have fantastic products that help help a lot of people. So that's not as hard, but what's really hard is just finding a good marketing system with an established company that's already printing, right? Because if you're coming in as commission, then you need to make sure they're making a lot of money if you want to make a lot of money and like join in. And another thing I always tell my students is if you want to ensure that you are going to be able to hit your goals with a specific offer or company, literally just ask them what their worst closer sales rep is making, ask them what the middle one is making, like the average, and ask them what the best closer is making. Because chances are you're not going to be the best right off the bat. I always shoot for the top, but right off the bat, it's usually you're not going to be the best, and you're probably not going to be the worst. So where's like kind of in the middle of what their closes are doing, and that gives you a good idea of like what you're going to hit, right? And if they can't even tell you those numbers, huge red flag, stay away. And it's super important that you guys have an abundance of offers to actually go through. So that is how I landed my first $15,000, or that's like the ideology that I used to land that role. But I'm going to show you now exactly how I did that. So let's dive into that. Just give me 1 second. So this is my online sales mastery document that I've made here on Lucid as well. Absolutely fantastic document here. Let's pull it up. A couple similar things up here that I was talking about, but down here, let's see, I can't even. Okay, I figured it out. This is my system when it comes to obviously making money online, but also with remote sales, how to actually land a role. So it's been working super well for my students. Just to show you one example here, Alejandro used this system to land a role where the KPIs are $7,500 a month as an appointment setter, just because he was new to sales. So he also has a plus $1.5 thousand base here, which is super solid. It just shows that it's a really good company if they're willing to pay a base as well. So that's just one of my students, a lot of them crushing it, making 5 to 10K per month. But they're not using the old method, which a lot of people out there and a lot of like gurus say to do in like the remote sales space. And a lot of these gurus haven't done sales in a very long time. They have someone else doing calls for them. They don't even really do coaching anymore, which is why I solely do the coaching inside of my program. And if you want coaching, you want to get help with this, click the link below. It'll talk more about it. But that's why I only do one-to-one coaching with my students. I don't have anyone else do it because I really only trust myself to give my students the sort of results that they need. Because everyone else spews this garbage about Facebook groups and DMing hundreds of influencers. And this just simply doesn't work anymore with all the different competition happening in the market. Obviously, everyone wants to travel the world, make good money at the same time. So when you hear that all you got to do is DM a bunch of influencers and ask them to be on their sales team, of course, a bunch of people want to do that. But usually those people aren't 100% committed. And when you pool yourself in with those people that are just DMing influencers and you also do that, well, the influencer just looks at you the exact same as they look at everyone else DMing them. And even at my level, I've got like 5,000 followers on Instagram. Actually, I think I just hit 6,000. And I have people every single day DMing me. I have had that since I was at like 1,000 followers, asking to be my appointment setter or my closer. And I literally have never given any of them a chance just because, in my opinion, they're just being lazy. They're not standing out. And I want someone, if I was to hire a sales rep, to really stand out, go the extra mile, and show me that they're a professional. And that's why I've adopted and crafted this entire system to actually do that. And it's what I used personally to land that first role where I made $15,000 at 19 years old. So I call it the authority outreach. Just by implementing this system, you have a ton of authority, and it gives you a lot of ways to stand out just in and of itself. So the three kind of different ways that we're going to use is LinkedIn, networking, and YouTube outreach. And I wouldn't worry too much about networking right now, just because this is more for when you are more established into the industry and you're already making money. But if you're brand new, LinkedIn and YouTube outreach are ways to like actually break into the industry and get things going. I keep trying to show my arm because I just got a new tattoo, so I'm trying to like see it in the camera. Sorry if it looks awkward. But LinkedIn, super solid. There's tons of opportunities on there. So you basically just need to get a LinkedIn premium account to like actually stand out, and you need to put together a super solid personal video, right? And that's super important because that's something every company is going to see. And if you don't even have that, then you're not standing out at all, because that'll help you like put your face to the name and really show somebody that you're good at talking, you're good at speaking, and you can practice it a million times. So like if you can't get good at a 1-minute video, then you probably just don't want it bad enough. But like this is super, super easy to master. And then you can basically also find the recruiter's name, send them messages, and just through this, you're going to stand out a lot. Companies are going to start wanting to interview you, and through there, you go through the interview processes, you land a role, and it's pretty much the same thing with YouTube outreach as well. So if you're watching this, make a super good LinkedIn profile. You can literally find me on LinkedIn. You can look at my profile. It's super solid. You can use ChatGPT to like put together some good experience and leverage the experience that you do have to sound better and really get your foot in the door. And you can even tell it to write you like a LinkedIn summary. So that helps a ton. Always use ChatGPT. It's going to be like your best friend. And then YouTube outreach is solid as well. This is like the specific way I landed my first super solid role. And this same role I made $15,000 in a month with. And all you're doing with this is you're finding YouTubers with high ticket offers. So what that means is YouTubers that are pretty much printing, right? They have a big audience as well. So you want to go for people that have a lot of subscribers, have a lot of viewers, and they actually have something going, and they have a lot of momentum, and they're growing, as well as they have a high ticket product. So you find them, you scrape their email from their funnel, and you can use like any email scraper. I use Email Finder and Email Hunter like GM Plus. It's pretty solid, and then you send them a personal video, and I would actually recommend just sending them a regular message like you've been watching them for a while. You give them a quick compliment, just like stroke their ego a little bit, and then after that, once they respond, then you can send your personal video, just because I've found that like if you send the personal video right away, it's more likely for it to go to their spam like junk inbox, since there's a link or there's like a file. So that's super solid. That's how I've gotten in contact with many YouTubers in the past. And the beautiful part about this is that obviously you're going to be selling for an influencer, and usually influencers have the warmest leads just because people trust them more, they like them more, and if you watch someone on YouTube, you're a lot more invested into what they're saying and what they're actually doing as well. So when you as a sales rep jump on calls with their audience or their leads, it's way easier for you. You make more money, like I said. So this is a fantastic way to get to 10 to 30K per month. This is exactly what I would do if I had to do it again, because it's exactly what I did to get there in the first place, and it's what my other students are doing right now as well. My student Ivan, he landed a super solid role. He's making good money. Sajad, he's literally just doing it on the side, making like 2,000 to 3,000 pounds a month for him since he's in the UK, and he's still working as a 9 to 5. So eventually he's going to transition out, but he pretty much doubled his income just by landing a good offer, doing it on the side. So that was awesome to see. Lots of my other students landing roles. Tim landed a good role. Kevin made $2K in his first 9 days. So this is very, very possible, guys. It's very easily done. My student Ryan made $14K last month. So it's not hard. You just have to implement the right system, and you have to position yourself properly. So if you guys want help doing that, you watch this video, you're like, okay, this kid knows what he's talking about. He has good student results. I want to actually hear more about how he can actually help me. If that's you right now, click the link below. It's going to ask you just a couple questions. And once you answer those, it's going to allow you to schedule either a call with me or my head coach, Ryan, and you guys can talk, or you'll talk with me. It's probable that you'll talk with me, and I'll see if I could even help you. I'll walk you through how that would look, how I can actually implement this system for you to get to 5, 10K per month in the next like 3 to 6 months. Is super, super realistic. So hopefully that helps you guys a lot to implement this system for yourself and gives you guys a lot of clarity. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe. Peace.